There's a couple in our church in New Orleans that most people would consider the odd couple. This is why. She is a medical doctor. He is a construction worker. She works in the hospital with patients all day. He works in building houses and buildings. And someone asked her, how could she submit to a man who made substantially less money than she did? And like a grown woman, get what she said. She said, I have never judged my husband by the size of his purse or his pocket, but rather by the size of his purpose in my life, by the size of his passion for me. She says, I've never judged him by what he had in his pocket, but rather what he had in his heart. She said, yeah, that's true. I make probably 6 times the money my husband makes. My husband has never been able to match my money, but guess what? He has always been able to match my grind. She says, I have never found myself trying harder than him. I have never found myself working harder than him. I have never found myself loving harder than him. And that's why I'm able to submit and call this man who works in construction my husband. She said to me, she said, Pastor, my husband is not a man in my house. He is the man of my house because he's earned that position. I want to tell you, a lot of folk are missing great people because you're so busy looking at money, you forget about meaning. You're so busy looking at pocket and purse that you forget about purpose. Listen, you will always be able to find somebody that can afford you. But you know what the hard thing is? Finding somebody that has the capacity to value you. Because a person can afford you and still be disrespectful. A person can afford you and still talk down to you. A person can afford you and still misuse you. But when they value you, you have found the gem. Listen, don't you miss $1 because you're chasing dimes. Dimes are always shiny, and we love the shine. Well, he has this or she has that. Dollars are not as pretty, but guess what? They hold more value. Choose folk that have value, not just folk who have shine.